We must now face the long dark of Moria. Be on your guard. There are older and fouler things than orcs in the deep places of the world. And with that, my favorite quote from the Lord of the Rings movies, we enter into the favorite views in Moria. It was Daniel Haskins that left a comment on the first of my favorite view videos, where he said anywhere in Moria is the top views in LotRO. And I couldn't agree more. So I'm gonna do a Moria Special. So please leave comments and maybe you'll be responsible for the next top 5 favorite views video in my series. We're starting off with the Lonely Span. I should enter in from the first section of Moria into the next one by the main path. You cross over the Lonely Span. These menacing dwarf lords staring down at you. And if you look to the right, there's a view that speaks of deep, dark, secret things that lurks in the deep places of the world. I think that's an awesome view. As my second one, I picked Dolphin view from this direction. First of all, you see this like city square underground with a huge mystical geode lighting up the town square. And then as you're down here and looking up into the distance, I think it's one of the only places in Moria that you feel like you are in an actual city, as cities look when they are on the surface. So please enjoy the Dolphin view. Moving on to the next one. Far, far below the deepest delving of the dwarfs, the world is gnawed by nameless things. Even Sauron knows them not, they are older than he. Now I have walked there, but I will bring no report to darken the light of day. This is Gandalf speaking after he has been in the deepest places below Moria. And as we are riding down here, we are getting closer to some of the deepest places in Moria. And this overview here from the Redhorn lodes is so wide and expansive. You see so many caverns in there. It's lit up like a city down there. It looks like there's adventure hiding in there somewhere. And I remember being here the first time and peering into the unknown. It is such a good view, and some of that nostalgia also makes this one of my favorite views in all of Moria. And speaking of Moria a little bit in general before we move on to the next point, I think Moria, as it's written in Lord of the Rings, is one of the most iconic locations in all of fantasy. I remember when I first found the Lord of the Rings in the school library and I picked it up. The first time I only read it until I came to Rivendell, and then I gave up. But then later I picked it up again and I came to Moria. And I'll never forget that feeling. It's one of the best literary experiences I have ever had. And as we go on and explore more of this Standing Stone's adaptation of the Lord of the Rings world, we are heading to the top of the Endless Staircase. It took me a long time before I knew that it was here, because I don't think any quests brings you out on the edge here. But one day I was in a exploratory mood and I went over here and I noticed that this is the top of the Endless Staircase. And also you find Floyd and Dewitt here. And where else would they be standing? The ultimate explorers of Middle-earth. Now we're heading into one of my all-time favorite locations in Moria. Probably the top one. It's the waterworks. I first approached this place, as many of you did, when I fell into the well at the Chamber of the Crossroads. My curiosity had me jump in there, and that was the first time I saw this area. And I think it looks epic. It has this mist covering it. It has this light, which I don't know where it comes from. It comes from crystals or whatever down here. makes it really special. And it takes such a long time to ride down here. You really feel that you have entered into the abyss. And with that said, here are my top 5 Moria locations. Let me know what your top 5 are, so I can maybe see if I missed something. Maybe just give me a general top view in Middle Earth, so we can go out there in the light of day again and create some new videos in this series. See you later.